Woo! Amazing Spider-Man. Yep, this really takes me back, especially when I thought at the time that after the Avengers movie came out and when this movie came out afterwards, that they were going to have some type of crossover, which they didn't. I've learned the hard way back in 2012 when it came to copyright rights and everything else. But what we got instead was a fairly decent movie out of it. So Amazing Spider-Man is, of course, the reboot to the franchise, and it's not that bad, if you ask me. And this time around, you got Andrew Garfield playing as the Webhead, and he's actually quite believable as Spider-Man. From the mechanics to the way he acts, intellectuality, it is actually pretty good, to be honest with you. And he also gives off a lot of expressions, kind of like what a young person or a teenager would do, which is very believable. What I really didn't like, though, was the fact that every time someone died around him, whether it be Uncle Ben or Captain Stacy, he kind of just goes into this over-the-top dramatic cry like, or more or less like, kind of like he has to scream or let something out, which is kind of forceful when someone dies right in front of him. But you know, and also his love interest in this one is Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone, and I have to say, she's quite the badass. And the romance between her and Spider-Man is a lot more believable, unlike the fucking Mary Jane one, which I absolutely fucking despised. I mean, at first they just kind of glanced at each other from a distance, but then they started slowly talking to each other, then they started going out. And I love the part where he just says, fuck it, I like her so much, I'm just gonna expose my identity. And, you know, it looked pretty good, you know, it is very believable, and their chemistry that they had together was pretty genuine, to say the least. And for a supporting character, Emma Stone plays quite the badass in this one as well. I mean, she challenges Peter, she questions Peter whether or not this is too much for him at times, and there are times where Spider-Man does need a little extra help, especially if she has to come toe-to-toe with a 10-foot-tall lizard by blowing a blowtorch in his face, or smashing a trophy up against the lizard's face, which, of course, which leads into Rhys Davies as the lizard. Now, the CG for the lizard looked pretty good at times, but there are times where it just didn't seem, it seemed kind of cartoonish as well, mostly in the facial expressions, but I think they were trying to go for the classic 1960s lizard, where he had just more of a clear face and not just the extended snout that a lot of people tend to know. But it was pretty decent for the most part for the CG work. Rhys Ifans, I really can't pronounce his name, I'll just leave the text up here. But he actually, you know, for the character of Dr. Kirk Connors, he was pretty good at times. He had a goal where he just wanted to cure humanity of diseases and lost limbs and whatnot. But after he got injected, they kind of had this forced angle where he had a split personality, someone talking into his head, which, yeah, it was just too contrived and too forced upon, if you ask me. And the way that he revealed his Grandmaster plan just by recording everything on a fucking laptop for Spider-Man to find, it was just like, come on, really? Sony did a lot of work on this, and it clearly shows with the CG work and special effects, especially how Spider-Man swings around and whatnot. But I did like the mechanics of it, and I did like how they just went back to the standard web shooters that he just had to make, and which will cause problems for him in the long run. And to be honest with you, out of all the complaints I've had in the original Spider-Man trilogy, I really didn't like the organic web shooting. It just seemed, well, inorganic and really fucking creepy, if you ask me. This one, the mechanical web shooters, was a lot better. And a lot of the supporting characters were great in here as well, from Martin Sheen playing as Uncle Ben, who was more quick and stern, to a very great Aunt May played by Sally Fields. And also, I enjoyed the hell out of Dennis Leary as Captain Stacy, because he was a lot more fleshed out in this one, unlike in the previous Spider-Man 3 movie. But at the same time, they gave him more of a decent angle, more of a reason to actually go after Spider-Man because of him being a vigilante, doing the things that he does. But at the same time, over time, he realizes, yeah, maybe I can actually use a backup or a guy like him helping me fight crime in the long run. Another thing I really didn't like at times was like, his powers kind of kicked in pretty quickly as well, especially the moment he got bit by the spider. Because at least, unlike in the first Spider-Man movie, it kind of just went overnight. This one, on the other hand, just took him like a couple of hours for his spider powers to kick in at 100%, which I thought it was a little too, I was like, okay, but it just felt a little too forced. But overall, this movie is pretty good. It's not exactly the best Spider-Man movie out of the franchise, but it's a close second to, let's say, Spider-Man 2, of course, which is why I would have to give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, now that we're 4 movies down, only one more to go, and that would be the grand success of its predecessors, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Well guys, as always, thank you all for watching, and if you guys like what you see, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, tell me what you thought about the movie in general in the comments section below, support me on Patreon, and all that other fun junk. So until then, I'll see you all next time.